Do you like big butts and you cannot lie? Well, Sir Mix-a-Lot was a man before his time. Today, I am gonna go over 3 of my favorite glute exercises that's not even a hip thrust. Because we all know hip thrust is a great exercise, but I got 3 even better ones.
Let's go! Do what I do! Work like I still got something to prove! Let's go! All I do! Work like I still got something to prove!
I haven't even said a line yet. All right, we're actually going to start off with my absolute favorite exercise for glutes, and that is actually on a hyper. So we're gonna do hyper extensions. Now, I'm going to do it a little bit differently to get more focus on your butt. Hypers are great. Usually when you do them, you're gonna come up and you're gonna bring your whole torso up, which is also going to work your lower back as well. So if I want to take my lower back completely out and really focus on just my butt, I'm going to stay completely rounded over the whole time so that our head actually stays below our hips. This now staying hovered over like this, completely rounded over. I even kind of crunch into it a little bit as I come up, is gonna take your lower back completely out. Now, how I like to do my hypers, you can do it 2 ways of adding weight. I like to do it adding a band. So I actually grab a pretty heavy band, and instead of holding it like this, I actually put it up and around me, dun, 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 up around my shoulders. My feet are gonna be somewhat flared out. My toes are slightly flared out, which is gonna hit kind of that outer glute. And then staying rounded over in that position, you're gonna come up and hold for a good 2 seconds. And then instead of coming all the way down and being completely relaxed, I wanna keep a little bit of tension on. So the movement is gonna be actually pretty small. So we're up here focusing on your butt, come down, relax for a second, but I still have tension on my butt the whole time. Up, and it's a very tiny movement staying rounded over. So I'll do maybe 10, 15 reps holding for a good 2 seconds on each one. And then I'll drop either the weight, you can do this with weight or a band. I like the band because it's like constant tension the whole time. I'll drop the band and then we're gonna keep going basically to failure, really focusing on squeezing your butt. You'll relax, but again, I don't want you relaxed all the way down here. You're gonna keep a little bit of tension on the whole time and then extra tension on at the top. And then hold. If you don't feel this in your butt, then I don't know how to help you. Because this is by far my favorite isolation exercise to really target glutes. So usually I'll do about 4 sets. Again, anywhere from 10 to 15 reps, weighted or banded, then drop the weight or the band, and then go to failure for all 4 sets. All right, my second favorite exercise. These are actually in no specific order. I'm gonna keep saying they're all my favorite because they are all my favorite, is the abduction machine. Every girl's dream, every machine that every girl loves to do. Maybe the most awkward one in the gym, but it gets the job done. Now, I love to do this 3 different ways. So you've always seen girls leaning forward and the machine's over here and you're like, does that work better than being straight up? Guess what? They all work. We're actually going to do abductions 3 different ways. We're gonna start off leaning completely back. So this doesn't really slide back or anything, but I want you pretty much all the way back. You're gonna hold on here and you're just going, again, as wide as you possibly can, holding each rep for a good 2 seconds. If you're just out here cranking them out, I'm not really feeling that. So come out, hold and squeeze. So we'll do 10 reps here, leaning all the way back. Hold each one. After you get 10, we're gonna go straight up and down for another 10 reps. And you're just gonna basically, by changing your torso, it's just going to hit different parts of that outer glute. So you're gonna feel it a little bit differently in here. And some you might be able to go a little bit wider. And that's why I like to do all the different forms, because is this the perfect way? Is this the perfect way? There is no perfect way, because they're all perfect. So you should do all of them. So I actually will do this as one whole set, 10, 10, 10. So now we're at our straight one, and then the last one, we're gonna lean forward, and you might not be able to get as wide, but by leaning forward, I now, instead of feeling it here, I feel it back here. So it's just changing where you're gonna feel it. So, it's right, kind of right in the center of your butt. So you'll do 10 leaning forward, holding each one. And this is just like such, like if you, I don't think you can get more isolated than this. So if you do not have this machine, I got a variation for you. All right, so your variation, because I understand that, you know, some people train at home. So all you need is some sort of resistance band or hip circle, and you can literally do the same exact thing all 3 different ways. So you'll lean back here and then just drive those knees apart. I actually like to kind of keep my feet together. It kind of helps keep it there. And you'll hold again, each for like 2-second hold. Really feel it. Then you'll go straight up, same thing. Hold for 2 seconds. And then the last one, you're gonna lean forward, same exact thing. There might be one where you feel it a little bit more, but this way, you don't have to think like, oh, I don't know which one I like better. Do all 3. And then maybe you will find which one you actually like better. The one where you can really feel it, do that one. Or just do all 3. And last but very, very not least is my 3rd favorite glute exercise, the dumbbell RDL with your toe elevated. Now you're probably wondering, why do you elevate those toes? So as soon as I lift up on here, you're going to get more of a stretch out of your hamstring, which also attaches to your glute. So yes, this is also a hamstring exercise. Maybe not quite as isolated as the first 2, but generally when we're working our glutes, we're gonna be working our hamstrings as well. So also great exercise for hamstring. So I'm gonna do a toe elevated to just give a little bit more stretch all the way down through my calf, all the way up through my hamstring, all the way up through my glute. Now, I like to do dumbbells versus a barbell because one, I'm very, very flexible, and generally most girls are very, very flexible, so we can really get down there. And if I have a 45 on a barbell, I'm stopping here when I would like to maybe get a little bit further stretch to come back up, because it depends on how flexible your hamstrings are. Plus, we're on a toe elevation, so you might not be as flexible as you normally are. And dumbbells, I use dumbbells because I can literally just place the dumbbell kind of within my leg and follow it down. With an RDL, a lot of people get these confused with stiff-legged deads. Very similar, but the biggest kind of key things that kind of differentiate is where the weight is. So a stiff-legged dead, which you can also do a stiff-legged dead with your toes elevated. Stiff-legged dead, your knees are slightly bent, but they don't really move like an RDL. RDL, you kind of bend and you kind of straighten with each rep. Not a whole lot, but there is movement in your knees. Second thing that kind of differentiates is where the weight goes. If I was doing a stiff-legged dead, the weight actually kind of comes out towards my toes. For an RDL, I'm really gonna focus on driving my butt back and then keeping the weight very close to my shins and then back up. Big key here is really keep your butt tight the whole time. So as you're coming down, nothing should be loose. So even though this is not the concentric part, you're gonna be tight, 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 tight. And then on the way up now, we're squeeze, 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 squeeze to pull yourself up. So think of it as squeezing your butt, and you can even practice that. So if I squeeze my butt, you're gonna see my body come up. That's the start of the movement there. So it's not a lower back. Will you feel a little bit in your lower back? But it shouldn't start from your lower back. It's gonna start from squeezing that butt, squeezing those hamstrings to bring the weight up. Now, how far you need to come up, you don't need to come all the way up. I usually stop right about here, throw my hips forward. So I'm still kind of still kind of bent over. I'm not kind of coming straight up like if I was doing like a complete deadlift. I kind of stay in it a little bit, squeeze, throw that butt forward, and then back down, keeping the weight really, really close. So here we got it with the dumbbells. Toes up, squeeze on the way down, let your butt really come back. My knees kind of bend, and then when I want to come back up, we're squeezing and kind of throw those hips forward and then back down, keeping the weight very close. Squeeze. All right, guys, so those are my top 3 glute exercise besides, the hip thrust. Is the hip thrust great? Yes, great exercise that you can overload. These exercises are great for really isolating those glutes. So make sure to add those in on your next glute day. And don't miss out on any of my videos. Like, subscribe, comment below. Come join me, train with me on my app, DLB Daily. It's only $1 for the first week, $7 after that. So if you like this kind of tips and workouts, let me train you every single day. We'll see you on the DLB Daily. Until next time, happy glute day.